Steve, thanks for joining us today. And from all of us here at YourTV, welcome to Niagara. The border closure has separated property owners from their summer homes and families and loved ones from each other. We introduce you now to Becca Marshall, a young teacher from Niagara, and Jordan Price, her boyfriend. He lives in Western New York. They've been separated for 15 months, if you can imagine. You two finally reunited Monday. Jordan, how did this come about? How did it happen?
I remember last spring when it was looking like the border was getting ready to close. I was actually up visiting Becca's family in Northern Ontario. And I think when it first closed, we suspected that would be a couple weeks. We're like, oh, it'll be a few weeks, maybe a month tops, and we'll go from there. And then 50 months later, here we are. And so it's really nice to be back and a great relief because, the dynamics are changing so quickly with updates to the border and welcoming vaccinated Canadians and Americans on each side as restrictions start to ease. So I'm really relieved that it all worked out and that I was let through.
Becca, if you put yourself in my shoes when I was your age, if this had happened to me, there would have been no Zoom, no FaceTime, no Skype, no way to actually see each other. Did that help ease the pain of not being able to see each other for 15 months?
Yeah, that made a big difference because it felt like we could still almost do like the day-to-day hangouts and stuff, like just set each other up on a FaceTime call. And then like we could both just like work together just like we would normally if we were hanging out. So that helped. I mean, it's not the same, but it made it a lot easier. My mom said the same thing. Her and my dad had to be long distance for a while and they just did letters back and forth. And she's like, trust me, what you've got going on is way better.
Jordan, how did you actually get to the point where you were able to cross the border on Monday?
It's been a long process. So I initially had to apply. There are certain exceptions for reuniting family members. And as an extended family member, I was able to come into Canada. So since we've been together for a long enough period of time, they extended family membered me, I guess, as Becca's partner. And then I was welcomed in once I received both of my vaccine doses, obviously, and negative test and took all the normal precautions, just like any normal returning Canadian.
Becca, how long have you been together? How long before the pandemic?
We were probably getting about a year-ish, close to it. There was a period where we were just friends on my part for quite a while. And then like Jordan said, he met my parents right when things between us were getting serious, right before the border closed. So we're like, okay, things are getting serious. And then everything shut down.
When you put the numbers together, Jordan, that means you've spent more time apart than you've spent together, which is unfathomable.
Yeah, we've thought about those numbers too. And there was a certain point where we knew we were approaching the day that we would surpass the amount of time we'd actually spend together in person up to that point. It's like you said, with the technology we have access to, in knowing that, God willing, this isn't going to last forever. And now, I'm really grateful that the vaccines came out so quickly, relatively speaking, and everyone is starting to return to some semblance of normalcy.
Becca, there must have been a lot of anticipation leading up to Monday when Jordan was scheduled to arrive. Were you worried that once you laid eyes on him, maybe he had changed a bit? Maybe he had gained the COVID extra 15 pounds?
It was weird to see him in 3D. I don't think I believed it until he was standing on my doorstep. And then the whole day kind of felt like surreal. He still looks the same, but it was just three-dimensional, which was really strange to me.
Jordan, you're here now in Canada with Becca. How long are you planning to stay, and what are some of the things that you guys are planning to do?
Well, luckily, I'm a teacher back in the US as well, so I have a lot of flexibility in schedule. So I plan on being here for the month of July, and then depending on what the border looks like, Becca will come to the United States in early August to see my family, who she hasn't gotten a chance to meet in person yet, actually. We had planned that for the week after the border closed. And so as long as I'm here, just enjoying being back together with Becca and, doing the types of things that we can do these days, like outdoor activities and hiking and just spending time together.